Good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Today is Thursday. It is the day after Wednesday, which was the day that I celebrated my birthday, and I want to thank all of you. I had so many messages this morning when I woke up, and I did have a little bit of electricity for a while this morning, and I was able to answer some of them. I had to stop. The queue stopped because I lost electricity again this morning. I'll tell you, the electricity yesterday, 12 hours plus 2 hours last night, and then sometime overnight while I was sleeping, and then this morning in the middle of talking with Ness and answering the comments. I only got about 1 or 2 pages down on the comments and I lost electricity. So I still have some review to do, answering your questions as well as answering email because the electricity just came back on. A big problem in the Philippines, especially with this electric company in this region of the Philippines. Well, I hope in the near future, this electric company becomes more like the other electric companies here in the Philippines, and the quality of service becomes more dependable. I will tell you, the one last night wasn't our electric company, Bottleneck, but it was here inside the subdivision. Something tripped, and I'm going to find out this morning before I take off. Well, I need to get today started. I am in catch-up mode right now. But yesterday was, even though we didn't have power, it was like Christmas and my birthday all wrapped in one. Because remember, I got to play with the lawnmower. And apologies for not showing you the lawnmower segment. I did record some in time-lapse videography of me doing the front yard and the backyard, and that was supposed to be included in yesterday's episode. But yesterday was such a crazy day, I didn't pull the video files off the other. I didn't lose them. I still have them, and I'll try to post them in today's video so you can kind of see. So, again, Christmas birthday. And why are you saying, is it like Christmas in my birthday? Because I also received a notification from Robinson. My TV for the great room is in, and that is going to be the focus of today. We're going to take a ride. We're going to go do a testing of the new television. We're going to find the hardware for mounting it on the wall, and possibly after I return it back here, possibly we will get that mounted. We shall see. So anyway, this has been a long intro again. My intros are getting longer and longer. I apologize. I seem to ramble a lot. So anyway, let's go ahead and get today started. So without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Now the first place we're going to go to Robinson's Appliance Store. That's where the TV's at. That's where we're going to do the checkout, and we're going to do the purchase, but we're probably not going to take it right away. I'll get them to hold it while I go downstairs to Handyman and look at mounts. Now I have some really grave concerns about the mounting of this TV in the great room. One of the things, if you are going to install a wall mount for your TV, one of the things that you need to do is you need to kind of think out, when you're building your house, think out where you're going to put your electrical outlets and your access points, for your HDMI or fiber, whatever's going to go to it. We didn't think this out very well, and we put most of the electrical area where most of the time you would mount your support bracket that holds your TV. So my recommendation, if you are doing the rough-in, for your electrical and your access ports, put it to the left side, to the right side, and at the lower section of where you anticipate your TV is going to be. Leave the center, the entire center of your mount area free of electrical, any type of a pipe or anything inside the wall, because that's where your mount's going to be. That was my bad. So as you can see over my shoulder here, the TV is waiting. I got the phone call from the Samsung rep yesterday. There is a Samsung rep that is on site here on certain days of the week and is part of the Robinson employee crew, but specializes only on Samsung appliances, specifically TVs. So he is going to unbox. We're going to do an unbox. We're going to do a functional check. We'll pay for the TV, and like I said, what we'll do is the next step, we'll get them to hold it right here. We'll run downstairs to the handyman and try to find an appropriate mounting bracket for the wall mount. They're going to test out the TV here in just a minute. What I did before, I didn't show you before I left the house, but what I did, I took all the measurements for all of the electrical connections from the left side, right side, top and bottom. So we'll make a determination while we're here what is the best type of a wall mount that we can use. I want to do a full motion wall mount, but it all depends on what I can fit in the spot where the electrical connections are. We can't put the mount on top of the electrical connection. Also has a USB connection in the back. If you have files that you would, like a file storage system on a portable USB device, like a storage device like a hard drive or a thumb drive, you can also play off of that as well, and that's what we're doing to test the video capability. Okay, well, configuration and testing of the TV is done. Next thing to do is to pay for the TV. So I'll do a bank transfer from my video account to finish paying off the TV, and then we'll get them to rebox it. We'll get it down in the vehicle after I find the appropriate mount, and then we'll head back to Feliz and we'll attempt to do the installation of the wall mount. Okay, I got the television paid for. It was quite a challenge to get it paid for, believe it or not. There's a thing that goes on sometimes in the Philippines is if you're using your bank card, which I do all transactions with my bank card because I don't like carrying cash around. So when you do transaction with your bank card, if the communication system is down, which it goes down a lot, it's not just electricity, it's the communication link. I don't know where it goes to. Maybe it goes someplace where the electricity is down. But you will get a communication error and it doesn't go through. Now, if you get a communication error and you try to make your transaction to go through, sometimes the transaction actually goes through. You don't know when the communication problem occurred. So you could inevitably be charging yourself for whatever you're purchasing twice. So what they will usually do, they will do a balance inquiry. So they'll look into your account. But the thing is, if you don't know what's in your account, if you don't stay on top of how much money you have in your savings or checking account, if you do a balance inquiry, unless it's a huge amount, you'll obviously see the difference inside your account balance, then most of the time you won't know without looking at every single transaction whether that transaction went through or not. So what I had to do, I had to go to the bank. I had to do an inquiry directly through the bank, which is luckily right here in Robinson. This is my branch. Then withdraw the money and then go up and pay cash for the remainder of the balance on the TV. So expect things like that. You have to have a lot of patience over here. So anyway, I got it paid for. They're holding the TV upstairs. Now I need to go into Handyman and I need to find the appropriate wall mount inside here. So let's go ahead and go in and see if we can find a good mount. Well, I can't tell you how many times I've been upstairs and downstairs. Now, upstairs is where the appliance store is. Downstairs is where Handyman is, right over here to my right. I can't tell you how many times I've been upstairs and downstairs. What I just did, I went to the appliance store and we checked the spacing of the mounting holes on the back of the television. It's 40 centimeters by 40 centimeters. It's a square. It's a perfect square. Now, the challenge is vertical or horizontal mounting. Which one will afford me where I can get it to the top? So I did a full measurement of the TV and the mount on the back of the TV, the spacing. Now, I can do modification of the bracket if I have to. Let me turn around and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Well, what you see here, it kind of looks like a real mess. It looks like a mess of... So basically, here is my outlets that I have here. And this would be a horizontal mount. This would be a vertical mount. This is the spacing from the top section right here to where the top of all the outlets are. This is how much space I have from the top of the TV to the first screw hole on that 40 by 40 square here. Mount hole, mount hole, mount hole. And so I got all these numbers here. So if I have to, I can on a vertical mount, I can always cut the top, I believe, or I can do the same on a horizontal. What I need is a mount that's flexible, and if I cut a section out, that it still will secure and maintain the weight of the television. So I got to go back into Handyman one more time, and I have to make a determination on which one will fit around those outlets the best and give me the exact height that I need. I only have 5 centimeters of space. It's only going to be like this much space between the top of the TV and the bottom where the ledges are inside there. Anyway, my job is integration. I'm an integration engineer. So putting a TV mount inside, even if I have to modify it, shouldn't be that difficult of a task. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in there, I'll make the determination, then we'll go home today and we'll install a TV. Maybe. All right, back here at Villa Feliz, I got the TV safe and sound back here at the house. Let me get it unloaded, get it inside the great room, and I picked up a mount, and we'll talk about the mount that I selected and why I selected it. So let's go ahead and try to get a TV installed. Something I've been waiting for like forever. Okay, now for the challenge. I don't know if either one of the horizontal or the vertical wall mounts are going to work here. We made a big mistake by putting all these right here in the center. Again, if you are doing it at your house, if you do, and you're building a house and you know you're going to be putting a TV on the wall, move your electrical outlets to the side. Estimate where it will be hidden, concealed. Put it to the side, either above or down towards the bottom. Especially if the shape of the back of the television, like this one, is kind of rounded in the back. So the deepest part is in the center. You have more room on the top and bottom, maybe for those plugs to be able to have some freedom of movement. Although the plugs that they use with these TVs, they're L mount plugs that go inside the receptacle here. So you only have about that much sticking out. It's not with the big cable and all hanging out. So I ended up picking the same one that I got for upstairs. It's the Sigma. Now the challenge is going to be mainly this electrical outlet right here. we might be safe with these up here. Now, had I got the horizontal, I think a problem with the horizontal, the way it mounts, I would have had all of this, both for the power for the windows upstairs, this one, and this, all of them. That's why I was kind of looking at it. I don't know if I made the right decision. We still might have to do something different, but I'm going to try this. We might have to modify it, and if we can modify it and make it work, you do what you got to do. So let's go ahead and try to get this thing mounted on the wall. Well, you are not going to believe this. It is just not my day today. Well, when I got this box with the mounting bracket at Handyman, it had been opened, and the bag that was inside, which was a bag almost identical to this, and you'll notice I'm saying almost identical to this, keyword almost, is it was missing. It had this section here that said ME, and there were no bolts inside of there. Well, somebody had taken the bolts out for, I don't know, but they took the bolts out and they were used for something else. So the salesman, what he did, he grabbed another box, not this box, he grabbed another box for another mounting bracket, but it was only for the maximum TV size was 55 inch. And he just swapped it out. He swapped this back for the other one. Now, when I get here to install the TV, I noticed that these bolts aren't long enough. So I look at this one, and these are only 30 millimeters long, and I'm missing about 10 millimeters to be able to make the brackets connect to the back of the television. So there is a difference between the mounting hardware for the 55 and below and the 65 and 70 inch. So what this means for me, I have to go back to Handyman. But you know what's going to happen probably? I get back to Handyman, and they're going to say this was the last box that they had right here. So you know what? I'm going to bring the entire box back with me. I have to pack it all back up again, just in case. My receipt, that, and explain to them the problem that I had. But they didn't look. Oh, I should have caught that. But normally you don't open up the instructions and compare each one of the hard. When the guy says, "Oh, this bag can swap out with this other bag," no, you have to check. So waste of. That's going to be a waste of 2 hours of my time today. Which means I'm going to be installing this tonight at dark. And hopefully we have electricity so it is not dark. Oh, and by the way, you see this bad boy right here? Well, I caught him on CCTV when I was inside Robin's. Actually, Ness caught him on CCTV. And he was sleeping on our new couch over here. And I'll show you a picture of that. Well, anyway, I'm going to head back to Handyman. Hopefully they have the right hardware. If not, we'll come up with another solution. But we have to do it, and we have to do it quick. I want to get here. I want this installed today. I want to watch Netflix tonight. Now I am back from Robinson. I will tell you, I secured what I needed, the screws that was missing inside the box when I brought it home. And I'm going to attempt to work on the install of the television. But I'm not going to put you through all of that. I'm not even going to do a time lapse on it because I have no idea how long this is going to take, because my concern is right where I need to put part of the frame of the back of the frame of the mount. It's right around where this electrical outlet is. I have to see what type of a challenge that's going to be to make it work. So you'll see tomorrow whether I'm successful or not. My television box / something to try to keep Hapone off of the couch when I'm away from the house. And you see right over here, I don't know if he's been on this couch or not. I didn't see any paw prints, and he's usually pretty good about respecting the furniture. But I need to go back onto the NVR and take a look and see if he's been sneaking around my back and going on the furniture while I've been gone. Remember yesterday I set up the samples, the stone samples. This stone sample, and what was this? Calico Verde, I believe was the name of it. Kind of a slate, gray slate look. And the one that I made a mistake, it's actually called California Buff, not California Bluff. And so I ask you all to give me your opinions. I already knew yesterday, immediately I knew which one that I wanted to select. But I just wanted to see what your opinion was on these two samples that I have here. Now, I will tell you, everybody overwhelmingly chose the California buff. And I think they chose the California buff for what I really expected Ness to choose the California buff for, because all the colors here are very much like the colors that you see already on the house here. And it's a very beautiful stone here. And this, I will tell you right now, for doing like lining of a wall, a full-size wall, a big-size wall, or maybe to be used on a stairwell in the back, this is a beautiful stone, and I still might use the California buff. But I will tell you right now, I chose this one right here, and the reason, the Calico Verde, and the reason I chose this one right here is for several of you hit the nail on the head with the reason why they think this is the best choice. And again, it's all opinion. What works for you is you go with whatever you like. But when you're defining your post, your post with your fence, you don't want something that takes your eye away so much from the house, which this one right here, it's a really beautiful stone, and then you want something that is a little neutral, so it complements the house but is not exactly like the house, in my opinion. I think the Calico Verde will fill that requirement, just like a lot of you made an observation. It's neutral, it will be nice and gray. I like kind of the color of the gray concrete if it didn't have all the blemishes inside there. But this with the 3D texturing, you will see this, it will define the post, it will complement the fence, and it won't compete with the beautiful colors of Villa Feliz here. So this is the choice. If I go, I didn't have time last night to do pricing to see per post how much it's going to cost to do something like this. But I still have to do that. You see, everything keeps popping up. As a matter of fact, I just got a phone call just a couple of minutes ago from the people at Vulcan in Lipa, and they said my ladder is in already. Remember the ladder I prepaid for on that sale that they had? So it's in, and I'm going to go tomorrow. I'm going to pick it up because tomorrow, I think, if I can get the television installed tonight, I need some plants. I need some plants for the little planter out here, and if I can find a good agricultural shop, some type of a compost or mixture that I can put in there with that. It looks like if I do go with natural stone, the Calico Verde is the one that I choose to go on the fence post here at Villa Feliz. And I gotta tell everybody, thank you very much for all your input, and I hope I don't offend you by not choosing your choice, but the options and the accessories and all the finishing that you put on your house is a matter of personal taste, and everybody has different taste. But again, thank you very much, and we'll move on to the next thing I wanted to talk about, which was my visit over at Robinson, the handyman store, that experience, and you're gonna laugh. Hey Hapone, are you gonna help me with the install of the TV bracket tonight? I need an extra set of hands, or in your case, an extra set of paws. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the funny story today. So I went to Handyman, and this was the original box. This was the last box that they had on the showroom floor. They had the display up on the wall, and they had this box here. So originally, let me show you how the hardware came. I'm going to put the hardware up here, and I'm going to show you the instructions inside here. Instructions with some of the parts. So anyway, when it was inside the store, and they opened up this box right here, this box with all the hardware in was missing. This was empty. There was no MEs inside here, which these are M8 50 millimeter long screws. So unfortunately, this is the exact screw that I need to mount into the back of the television. Well, anyway, since they did not have this, they went to another box, and the box was actually a box for a smaller TV. It was for up to a 55-inch television. And when you look at the bag for the hardware looked exactly the same. So I assumed they knew what they were talking about. So they just said, we'll exchange this bag from the other box for this one right here. It had all of the packets filled. So I got it home. And the one for ME was actually a 30. It was a 30 millimeter, M8 30 millimeter, which was this size right here, which all these bolts, these screws down on this end, I can't use those. They're not for this TV. They make these so they'll fit a whole bunch of different size televisions. So I went back and I looked at the instructions, and the reason I know it's supposed to be 50 is because it says right here, I am supposed to have 4 of the M8x50s in the inventory here. So you saw I went back and I told the people, and they were very kind, and they let me back inside. And I brought the whole box. I brought the receipt. I brought the bag, the packet, the bag of hardware that they gave me from another box. And I said, listen, what was missing in the first bag that you took out and swapped out, that's actually was the bolts that I needed. I need 50 millimeter bolts inside there. So they scrambled. They opened up all these other boxes. And it's kind of amazing because some of the boxes were for up to 70-inch television, but the biggest bolts in some of those were 30 millimeters long. They weren't the 50 millimeter long. So had I bought a different bracket thinking that it was made for a 65-inch TV, I wouldn't have been able to use it. I would have had to found a bigger screw to go inside there. So they said, and they came up with a logical answer, and I asked them also, I said, do you have in your hardware supply, do you have 50 millimeter M8 screws? So, and they have a lot. It's like going into Lowe's. They have little hardware bins inside, and they go through each one. So they went over there and they found 50 millimeter M8s, but it wasn't a screw at the top, a Phillips screw. It was a bolt, and it doesn't make any difference because it's hidden behind a bracket anyway. So I said, okay, I'll do this. Since I purchased it, you didn't have any, you don't have any of the 4. Just give me the ones that you have inside the bin. So they said, okay. So as I was getting ready to take everything away, they said, okay, sir, each one of those bolts are 150 pesos. And I said, you want to charge me 150 pesos for each one of the bolts when I already paid for it, but it was missing inside the original hardware? That's kind of the mindset sometimes, but they have checks and balances. If you take something out of the store, inventory is crazy around here. They have inspections. They inspect their employees when they come and go and things like that. So it's very security conscious. And in their mind, the common sense approach to, I paid for it, but it wasn't in there. I came back and I want to leave with what I paid for. That's not a common sense approach sometimes, the way some of the salespeople work. And it's just the way that they were trained. So that's the funny part about it. So that's part one of the funny part. Hang in there with me. Then, since this was the last one that they had, one of the salespersons, and it was a good idea that he had, he said, there's the box that the display came in, maybe there are, the hardware is still inside there. So they climbed the ladder, they got up there, they went to the back, and they found the box for the one that was on the wall inside there, and it had all the hardware in it. It had this bag of hardware right here. So I said, this is what I need. I need this bag right here. So they did. So they gave me the bag, and long story short, or long story extra long, I got it, but it's 2 hours later. Like I said, it's after 5 o'clock right now. And I'm back, and I'm going to start doing the marking. I'm going to try to do all the measuring, partial mount. It might take me to call up a couple of my friends here, one on each side, so I can get an accurate measurement of the place so it's perfectly centered. I can guesstimate it. I can take a tape measure and try to do it. I might do that myself as well. But the best thing to do is to have somebody there, second set of hands, second set of eyes, so that I can get it exactly perfect. We'll see. We'll see tomorrow when on tomorrow's episode if it's mounted or not. So that is my long story short, long story for you for today. So I'm going to close. I am not going to put you through the installation. Maybe I'll do a time-lapse videography in the background. Maybe I'll show that tomorrow. I don't know. Again, thank you for all those wonderful birthday wishes yesterday. It was overwhelming. And after I get done with this, if I have time tonight when I am trying to relax, trying to get something to eat, I hope that I can answer a lot of the comments from yesterday that are still outstanding. I try to stay on top of the vlog, and if you have questions, I try to answer them as much as I possibly can. So, that's going to be it for today. If you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up. Please share. And if you have not subscribed, just click on that little My PI Dream heart in the bottom right-hand side of your screen. you'll be subscribed and notified the next time I upload a new video. So until such time, me and Hapone wish you a wonderful and blessed day.